Okay. Good evening, presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. Every year, I try to plan and travel to a new destination with my friends or family so that we can explore more and more new places, people, and culture. This year, too, I had planned to visit surreal landscapes and ancient monasteries in the land of dragons. Can any one of you tell me which particular place I'm talking about? Any guesses?
China, maybe.
Well, no.
Shanghai.
Thailand.
No.
Sikkim.
Well,
Any ASEAN country.
no.
Oh my God.
Okay, no worries. I'll tell you. It is Bhutan, a beautiful
Oh,
Himalayan kingdom. And I'm sure the curious traveler in you had also planned to visit the loveliest destinations across the world. But we all have encountered our plans hitting a bump in the road this year. Nevertheless, I already have the mesmerizing views in front of me with pristine beaches, lofty and snowy mountains, tropical climate, waterfalls, and lush greenery sounds. Sounds like a perfect plan to get away from the daily hustle bustle. And for this ideal enchanting escape, I welcome you all to 226th Toastmaster Club meeting of Baner Toastmaster Club that fits into the puzzle for all of the wanderlust in us without any problem. Our club provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Let me set some ground rules of this meeting for you. Please mute your microphones when you're not speaking. Please put your mobile phones on silent mode to avoid any distractions when you get a chance to speak. Be cognizant of your body movement, multitasking, and backgrounds. Use the chat box for any questions or comments. For feedback, send it as one-to-one message only to the speaker. Please clap or use clap emoticon whenever the control is transferred. When you begin speaking, the correct protocol is that you have to greet in the following manner. Good evening, presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I also request everyone to rename themselves as per their roles or Toastmasters or guests. It's my pleasure to introduce the champion of our last week's contest, our presiding officer, a very cheerful and enthusiastic person who consults financial client services, helping them in their digital journeys. He's currently reading a book on leadership, Hard Things About Hard Things, on how leaders have to be their own while making hard decisions. Please welcome our presiding officer, Parijat. Over to you, Parijat.
My fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters, good evening. And thank you, Toastmaster Shivani, for such a splendid and surreal start to this 226th meeting. I formally call this meeting to order. Before we go further, it's time to recognize few accomplishments. One, as Shivani mentioned, we had our humorous speech contest and club evaluation contest last Saturday, and I hope most of you witnessed and enjoyed the fun. So I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Hina, Anish, and Avinash for taking up crucial roles in organizing the contest. Also congratulating all the winners, Nishant, Tushar, Radha, Jitin, and yours truly here, and all the other contestants who made their presence felt. Toastmasters Nishant and I will represent our club at the area level contest on 1st of November. So I would request all of you to block your calendars and be present and enjoy the fun that day as well. Also, Toastmaster of the month for September 20th is Toastmaster Prashant. I'm not sure whether he's joined us today, for his active participation in each meeting that he participated. So congratulations, Prashant, for that wonderful contribution. Also, we had 5 members completing their educational levels last month. So the congratulations are in order for Prashant for his level 5, Ankita and Radha for level 4, Yatin for level 2, and Pooja for level 1. Congratulations to 5 of you for completing your educational levels. Let me also welcome the new members to our club. You heard one of them, Toastmaster Shivani. Then we have another one coming up as timer, Toastmaster Nitish. Then we have Dr. Manisha and Toastmaster Renu. Welcome to BTMC family. I'm sure the club will help you fulfill your wanderlust of the public speaking world. A special welcome to all our guests today. Thank you for joining in. May I request each one of you to unmute yourself and share briefly just 3 things. Your name, how did you learn about our club, and your expectations from the meeting today. So let me start with Shweta.
Hello everyone. I am Shweta. And actually I am here to improve my communication. And this I hope by joining this club I will improve my skills and communication by this club. Okay.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Shweta, for joining in. Girish.
Hello, it's Shirish. Hello everyone, it's Shirish Fulmali from Pune. Actually, I have heard this club from my colleagues, office colleagues, and I expect my improvement in my communication further from attending this club. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Shirish, for joining in. Guest Komal.
Hi, hello everyone. Myself Komal, and I know about Toastmasters since my college days. So I always wanted to join one, but it never happened. So this time, I want to improve my English and some communication, some leadership qualities. So I searched the Toastmaster site, and from there I got the number of Toastmaster Tushar, I think, and so I contacted him, and he added me to the guest list. So this is my second meeting actually, and after this, I will be eager to join the your club. Yeah.
Sure. Look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's another guest. I can just see the number. I don't know the name. It's 884-3793. Would you like to unmute yourself and introduce? Perhaps I'll move to guest Dhanashri. Dhanashri, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Dhanashri Patil. So I heard it from my friend before actually introducing this. Jyoti has actually introduced this yesterday. Means before joining this. Before that, I have saw one girl who is very confident speaking in front of many people and all. So I always want to be like her. So it's my wish to join this club. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to our club. So just for your benefit of our guests, Toastmaster has over 140,000 members globally who connect every week or every fortnight to explore communications and public speaking. 90% of the past members globally felt that Toastmasters has helped them achieve their personal goals. So I'm sure if you take up this journey, it will help do yours as well. Please reach out to Toastmaster Tushar, who is the Vice President Membership, after this meeting to know more about Toastmasters or the Baner Club. How many of you remember the first flight you took? Remember those butterflies in your stomach? A 22-year-old engineering student was on his first flight, sitting anxiously, biting his fingernails, watching the plane pick up speed on the runway. And he suddenly noticed that the plane turned around and was taken back. He was worryingly watching the proceedings. After 30 minutes, the plane again started to move. He called for the head of the staff, asked her, "What was the matter, ma'am?" The lady said, "The pilot was hearing some sound from the engine, but don't worry, we got it sorted out. Just a bump in the road." This mechanical engineering student asked, how come you fixed engine so soon? She said, no, we didn't. We just changed the pilot. Every time I travel, despite a very detailed planning, I still feel that butterfly and lots of such butterflies for the unknown that I will encounter, for the excitement of seeing the newer world. This feeling is somewhat akin to when I get on the stage to speak on a new topic, sharing my thoughts, talking to newer audiences. Though I've begun to plan better, prepare more, but I still feel that. The more I channelize such feelings, the better the results are. And that's what I see in my travel as well. If I plan better, if I use this negative energy or this anxiety in me more positively, I enjoy my trips better. I find more satisfaction, more fun in whether it's taking a trip or whether standing up on a stage for speaking. Similarly, we all have been on such exciting journeys. And today we are going to be on another such virtual journey that Toastmaster of the day has taken us through the week, through the refreshing travel pictures shared by our wonderful members. And I can see so many other pictures on the virtual background today. Let us go on a much more fun-filled ride, a journey through imaginations with our host, who's very passionate about how people think, understanding the human mind, the psyche behind it, and of course, traveling. Let us welcome Toastmaster of the Day, very, very personable member, Toastmaster Priyansha, with a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Presiding Officer, dear Parijat. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Toastmasters, dear guests, and Presiding Officers. I am Priyansha Sinha, your host for the day. Welcome to this 226th meeting of Baner Toastmasters Club. Another journey filled with fun and excitement as you travel through the time by sitting on your home, looking at your screens. You will see a lot of things coming up your way. Though you must be wondering why this theme when the travel is restricted or not recommended definitely in these COVID times. Before I start off, I just wanted to ensure that all of you can see the screen because I'm sharing it right now. Let me know in affirmations as you know once you are able to see the screen.
We can, yes.
Thank you. So you'll see this word, hello world. So right now the screens that we are looking at in are our words, right? So when you start anything, when you start any electronic equipment, this is the message that you may get, right? So we are starting off on our journey filled with imaginations because it's all a virtual journey. We are not going anywhere, but you will see we will travel a lot. You have seen that in these days travel, so 27th of September is being recognized. I mean, of course, that is every year. That is being recognized as World Tourism Day. So whoever is not a fan of celebrating one day as a tourism or any other day can definitely look forward to having amazing life experiences through traveling. How? We'll see. Right now, the travel is more or less restricted to the four walls of our home. When you see around 5 p.m., I mean, that can be 10 p.m. as well. When a person wants to travel back to his home, how does he or she travels? Just gets his chair rotated and then he is back home. So that's the travel journey is happening these days. But the fact is, working from home can actually mess with your head. How? Because human minds are, very much inclined to having new experiences. So even when you are at home, just imagine about the travel because our thoughts travel too. You remember the scene, right? I mean, had our thoughts not been traveling, the Simran of the so-called movie would have never turned around. But you be it the Raj Malhotra or Simran, would you really turn around? Take it little fast forward. Be it the Munna Bhai MBBS or Dr. Suman, would you really turn around for that travel only? Maybe, maybe not. So wherever you travel, it's like the first question that may come to your mind, that which route you should take. Is it through car or through a train or through a ship or through airways? Which way? And definitely not to forget, like I was saying, the people these days are very much confined to their four walls. There is a phrase that I used in my childhood days that was used kind of a not so good word, bus number 11, which is generally referred to walking, because you have two legs, that's 11, you walk. So you take that bus number 11 from traveling. So that was on a lighter side of the traveling. Whichever route you should take, just, people who love travel, they firmly believe that, if they were meant to stay at one place, they should have a route, right? Not legs, of course. So if God has given us the feet, it's to travel and experience the new world that is all around us. We'll see. I mean, the world is definitely not limited to the earth here. We will see how that works in brief, of course. Just for a trivia, what is this? Can you read this?
This looks to be in Thai.
That's the actual name of Thailand.
Okay.
That's the actual name
So
of.
at least I got the country right.
Okay, Parijat, you were close enough to at least, recognize that language is Thai. So yeah, great work. So this is the actual name of Thailand. So there are so many wonders across the world. I mean, even across your city. I mean, it all depends on you, how much you are willing to cater on or take on. Also, remember this road, okay? So there are few facts that you should be noting. I mean, of course, it's up to you to note it down, but there are few interesting facts that when you take a vacation, it actually lowers your risk of heart disease. Of course, you should not be confined, and you will not be confined for a long time. When you travel from America to India, the jet lag may feel worse rather than the other way around. People who are typically introvert, they like the mountainous region compared to the extroverts, while we have another category called ambiverts. So again, this is basically a scientific study and not a black and white fact on the human psyche. With that, just remember that road. Okay, we'll come back to that road towards the end of our journey. With that, I, being the host of this meeting, cannot take this travel with all of you if I don't have my supporting team members as well for this meeting. So we just have seen someone who defines travel as any word that you can pick up on the screen that is being flashed on your computer screen. So any word that you pick up, or maybe it can be all of the words that you can pick up, that defines this person. So this person is so passionate about the traveling journey and has actually initiated this meeting with such a passion. We have our Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shivani. Congratulations, welcome Shivani to the meeting.
Thank you.
We have to give us critical feedback on our speech and to also present the word of the day and the phrase of the day. For this particular meeting, we have someone who believes that travel teaches us a lot in short durations. The person enjoys learning demographics, history, and cultural bits, including the local languages. And he is also a firm believer that the travel in itself is a complete experience. Let's welcome Toastmasters Ajay. Welcome Toastmasters Ajay. I am also requesting Toastmasters Ajay to come on the screen and share the word of the day and the phrase of the day.
Thank you, and good evening to Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So when the discussion is relating to travel, I'm sure 90% of people's face is lit up brightly. And the rest 10% would be definitely regular travelers. I enjoy the concept of traveling for relaxation and rejuvenation. For the last 9 years, I, along with a couple of more families, travel to some new destinations within and outside India every year, though this year could be an aberration. So traveling to new destination is a wonderful gateway for learning different cultures, meeting with new people, forging long-lasting relationship, and more importantly, learning and improving the language. So talking about language, the role that I'm playing in this meeting is that of a language evaluator. So my responsibility as a language evaluator is to listen everything and that is said during the meeting and note down and report any particularly good usage of English or highlighting any grammatical incorrect speech. The other task that I have or I have been entrusted with is to present the word of the day and the phrase of the day. So for today's meeting, the word of the day is wanderlust. Wanderlust meaning a strong desire to travel. One example for wanderlust is Parijat's wanderlust took him all over Europe. Another example, Tushar quit his job to pursue his wanderlust and meet new people around the globe. So anyone would like to try out the word of the day in a sentence?
May I?
Sure, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So actually, I am not a wanderlust, but this lockdown has suddenly, evoked a lot of feelings to be a wanderlust.
Thank you. And next, the phrase of the day for this meeting is bump in the road, meaning a temporary problem that arises and slows down progress. Small setback, a temporary problem. So example is we hit a bump in the road when two of our team members fell sick. However, at the end, we finished the project on time due to the great support from the team. Any volunteers for using this phrase of the day?
May I, Ajay?
Sure, go ahead, please.
So the TM evaluations help us to overcome the bumps in the road that we face during our speeches.
Great, thank you so much. Moreover, I request the audience to show a thumbs up emoticon when anyone uses the word of the day or phrase of the day during their stage time in the virtual meeting. I will give out the word of the day and phrase of the day usage and the grammatical usage report when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmasters Ajay. Next role player that we have is to keep the track of the time. We have someone who believes that travel is very much required to breathe in the fresh air of the new places. Let's welcome TM Nitish. Toastmasters Nitish.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Greetings, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Yeah. I, Nitish Putrevu, am the timer of the day, and my role is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, general evaluations, and the round robin. Can I be allowed to be screen? Am I supposed to screen share right now? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. No, I wasn't being allowed, so okay.
Let's try it now.
Yeah, right. Thank you. So as you can see my screen right now, the each and every segment has an allotted time range. So when the speaker commences his speech, the screen will go green when the speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, It will turn yellow when the speaker reaches the midpoint of time allotted, and red when he or she reaches the maximum time allotted. So he will have 30 seconds to wrap up his speech, or else he'll be disqualified. So I'll be back to report the time on whether the speaker has been qualified or disqualified. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Right. Okay, so thank you, Toastmasters Nitish. I am moving on to the next role pair that we have. Okay, so to act as an R counter, we have someone who believes that travel is a way to explore, a way to learn, a way to make friends, a way to find yourself, and a way to create memories. Please welcome Toastmaster Sonika Kanotra as the R counter for the day.
Good evening, everyone. Traveling can be a learning experience, provided one is open to explore with observation and assessment of every event. Having said this, growth happens when we are open to learn from the few bumps that we experience in the road to our destination or never-ending journey. Dear Presiding Officer, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmaster and guests, my duty as an hour counter is to listen attentively to each speaker, make a note of the following used by the speaker. One is the crutch sounds like or Second is the filler words like but, so, like, and well. Third is the filler phrases, you know, and so, etc. When called upon, I will give a report of these speaking errors. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Priyansha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika. All right, so let's move on to the theme. So what's best way to start when we are at our homes than to travel throughout India? So that's one way where that's one of the countries, one of the most ancient countries which has introduced the concept of namaste, which is being most widely used in today's world during the COVID times. Outside, it's raining, in Pune at least. So wherever you are, it will rain information and facts right now. So grab as much as you can and enjoy your journey throughout India. You see the highest post office and the world's only floating office, and the only saltwater lake created by a meteor, the largest gathering that can be seen from the space, or the highest cricket ground in Himachal Pradesh, or just for a fact that there is only one single time zone that is being used throughout India, and the one of the traditional clothing, which is Indian sari, which is like 6 yards long attire. It's like one of the ancient dressing used by human beings. The Edicts of Ashoka, that was also one of the part of the ancient manuscripts, is the first depiction of human rights ever in the human civilization so far. You see the world highest golf course that goes also to India, the Golden Temple. So right now, another concept which is trending is Black Lives Matter. In India, all lives matter. Irrespective of it, the Indians feed a vegetarian meal, irrespective of any discrimination, to almost like many number of people, almost on a daily basis. Till date, we don't have any competition in Kabaddi World Championships, be it the Men Kabaddi World Championships or the Women Kabaddi Championships. The Mumbai city, as you see, and the Bandra Worli Sea Link that you see is, so Mumbai, as you see, that came into existence only in 1784 and not before that. It is a combination of 7 islands. And I have kept the best for the last because in today's COVID times, Karnataka and Gujarat have come up with contactless Pani Puri ATM, and for the next time onwards, whenever I get a time, I'll go there just without worrying about any hygiene factors. I'll go to Karnataka and Gujarat to have this contactless Pani Puri ATM. I'm preparing it at my homes as well, but nevertheless. So that's one picture that you can see on the screen. This consists of, this can mean 1,000, a million words. For me, there is no end to it. I can just talk about it for hours, but given that we have time limits, I will explain the flow of this particular meeting for the benefits of our guests. This meeting has two parts. One is the prepared speeches. So there are four speakers who will be attempting different levels of their speeches for different pathways. And that will be followed by table topics, which is kind of impromptu speaking, as well as a round robin. And the second part of this meeting will be evaluations and the role player report and moments of glory. So without any further delays, so any guesses who is the speaker for speaker one for today's meeting? Don't say the name, I am just putting down the trivia there. He loves nature travel. He cares for greenery around us, and he definitely enjoys the trades. Let's welcome the speaker one for the day, Avinash Atarde. Avinash Atarde, as the first speaker for today, will attempt the project 2 for level 1 project 2 of the dynamic leadership pathways. The evaluator for this particular speech will be Toastmaster Subodh. So I'm requesting Toastmaster Subodh to unmute his microphone and talk about the objectives of this speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his first speech. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subodh. The timing sequence for this particular speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The color coding will be green at 5, amber at 6, and red at 7. A 30-second grace period will be given to the speaker as well, which means beyond 7 minutes 30 seconds, the speaker will not be qualified for the evaluations. So I have given the introduction of speaker 1 here. So with that, I welcome speaker 1, Avinash Atarde, for this meeting. The title of his meeting is Habits Make You or Break You. Habits Make You or Break You. Toastmasters Avinash Atarde, over to you.
Before starting, am I visible and audible?
You are, Avinash.
Okay. So, shall we start? Okay. Do you have someone who don't have a habit in this forum or in the world? Not at all possible. We learn from the childhood habit of sleeping, reading, writing, peeing, popping, or smoking, anything, which are good or bad sometimes and makes or breaks our life. Presiding officer, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and my dear guests, there are plenty of the habits which exist in the world more than the population. And those are the habits sticks to the person till his death. And those are the habits particularly those are the habits which impact on our regular life. So being this is so important, let us understand what are those habits, how those are formed, and which are those making our life make or break our life. Being a habit, it is an automated behavior which runs repeatedly, which repeats over and again, and runs in our subconscious mind repeatedly. Taking the example of riding bike riding for the first time, we need to be conscious for many parameters like balancing, speed, or brake, or steering. But if you make a practice for a week, month, or certain duration, definitely you will be a master on that. Toastmaster is also on the same principle, works for the rehearse, practice, and practice. So there is a exactly opposite side of the habit also. Once those are formed, it is very difficult to get rid of it. Just like day-to-day habit of having a tea, which makes you the, which it is very difficult to get rid of it. The formation, there is a neuroscience behind it, which our brain has a billions of neurons in the billions of neurons, and those form a particular path for one particular habit. And once you repeat the things, all neurons are get activated or attracted towards the path. It's just like this is the network, which is it is a network which gives you the which is activated in the brain. And once you do that repeatedly, it will form the chain. And those neurons basically like a spider web. At initial level, those are the spider web. It can be broken off very easily. But once you repeat it again, it will be a strong chain of network like steel, which cannot be broken. And we can't break the habits. So its study says that 45% of our time goes every day with the habit. In short, half of the life is led by the habit. So it's very important. We strive for 1 or 2% of the benefit from bank to bank. And what do we do for the 50% of the benefit from habits? Don't worry. We do have a solution for that. There are 3 habits I'm going to introduce you. Habit of setting the goal, habit of prioritization, and habit of reading the books. Everybody has a wonder list of becoming a richer, healthier, and get promoted, but we miss on the action for the priorities which we need to act on. And if we act on those prior actions, definitely we'll reach our goal, meet our goal. Athletes do the same thing. They do every day for their goal, and they improve their skills and ability and meet the goals. Second habit, which talks about the prioritization, which is nothing but what least we do have, we need to prioritize that. Otherwise, it will become a bump on your road, which makes you or breaks you if you miss on a priority. So sometimes I observe we use the we refer the outlook, and then at the start of the day, and we miss to the whatever the important action. Similarly, and at the end, we come up with the stress and anxiety. At the same time, if we miss on a priority, we may need to communicate to the Vinod, hey Vinod, I cannot do my role, or I cannot do my speech. Can you please postpone it? At the same time, there is a third habit, which is the reading. I'm not talking about the garbage reading from the social media, which is the WhatsApp and Facebook. It's the intentional reading for our goal, what we are defined for. I have an example of Brian Tracy, who became a multi-millionaire after school drop-off to the billionaire. And with that, I will summarize my speech that we do have those habits, which can, habits is the one which is get repeated over and again, and those make a decision what you need to focus on. Otherwise, you get in a trap of bad habits, and you will end up your life in a bad way. And definitely there is we learn from that there is a neurology behind that, which gives the study that those neurons get activated, and those neurons get form the stronger path to act on that, and that will help our life to make it. And additionally, we learn the 3 habits, which are setting a goal and acting on the important action for that, working on the priorities, which we miss many times, and which we miss many times to reach out our goal. And last one is the getting a knowledge to achieve those goals with the help of knowledge or information, which we get from which we need to get for to achieve our goal and to make or break our life. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyansha.
Thank you, Toastmasters Avinash. I'm sure that if people follow the three aspects of setting the goal, prioritization, and taking action, they should be able to succeed at whatever they do. Thank you so much. I'll just start sharing the screen again. Let's pause for 30 seconds and to give feedback about the first speaker. Please give the feedback only on the private chat. Pinging Toastmasters Avinash individually. And if a Toastmaster Nitish, yes, thank you. All right. So with that, let's move on to the next speaker. The next speaker will attempt his level 1, project 1 for the pathway of innovative planning. Okay. So innovative planning is the pathway, and this is the level 1 and project 1. The person in reference here he loves his trips to the beaches and watching the waves intently. He loves taking his family out for short trips. In fact, he has shared the pictures this morning on the WhatsApp group itself, and he enjoys the trail. So before I, just reveal the name, I would request all of you to just take a guess who it is. I'm sure, of course, all of you would know. But remember the characteristic. The person loves the trips to beaches, taking his family out, who has shared the photos as well, and enjoys the trail. He is none other than Toastmaster Santosh Yadav. I welcome Toastmaster Santosh Yadav in this meeting. And the evaluator for his speech is Toastmaster Tushar. So I request Toastmaster Tushar to read out the objectives for his meeting, or for his speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyansha. Just one correction: the speech, the level of the speech is level 4, project 1. It's not level 1, project 1. And the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his or her team. And the purpose of the first speech is for the member to give a short overview of the plan of his or her project. I request all the best to my target speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tushar. So the title of Toastmaster Santosh's speech is Let's Lift the Life. So let's lift the life, Toastmaster Santosh. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Priyansha. I'm audible and visible. Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Yes. Presiding officer, Toastmaster of Day, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest, good evening. In India, like a businessman, our farmer does not have choice to set the price of their product. Here the product means crops. So I have the plan how to uplift their farmer lives and improve their economic status. I have planned to link our farmer through the power of the market and increase the reach of global market. So I am going to present one plan to create online marketing place only for the farmer so that they can sell their product directly and consumer can buy the product from the online marketing place from the farmer and money goes consumer to the farmer. For this project, I need team of 3 people. One, software engineer having the 5-year experience. Second, logistic expert having the 3 years experience. And third, procurement expert having the 4-year experience. since this is a project related to the farmer, and here I want to uplift their life and empowering them so that they can link with the modern economy, is the digital economy. So I believe that government can also share some fund for this project. Initially, this project I'm going to implement only the Pune and it's around the village. Yes, the project timeline is here. The project would be completed next 4 to 6 months. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. I missed informing the timing sequence of this meeting. The timing sequence was 2 to 3 minutes. And right now, we all could see the timer screen. It was 2 minutes, 31 seconds. So thank you so much. I will again start presenting and we'll move on to the speaker 3 for this meeting. The speaker 3 for this meeting, when talking about his travel characteristics, he is very much, he definitely believes that whenever someone travels, he or she should always prefer traveling during the daytime, especially when the person is traveling from their own vehicle. So we have the speaker 3 as Toastmasters Vilas. I welcome Toastmasters Vilas. He will be attempting, again, the pathway is innovative planning. The speech attempt would be for level 4, project 1, and the speech title is Smart Work. The evaluator for this, for Toastmasters Vilas' speech is Toastmasters Radha. So I request Toastmaster Radha to speak about the speech objectives for Toastmasters Vilas.
Good evening, everyone. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his or her team. All the best, Toastmaster Vilas.
Thank you, Toastmasters Radha. I welcome Toastmasters Vilas for his level 4 project 1 of innovative planning pathway speech. Smart work. Smart work, Toastmasters Vilas. Over to you.
Am I audible? Visible?
Yeah, you are.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Manage project successfully. What does this mean? There are 3 words. Managing project successfully. Managing means, is it administrative activities, or is it monitoring the activities sequentially within a stipulated time? What about the project? Is it giving the input and getting the output by executing the task? What comes before input? Suppliers? What comes after output? Is it a customer? What about managing projects successfully? What are the characteristics of having execution of successful projects? So I am going to lead a 4 members of team for an automobile project which our organization is facing several issues. We need to execute 12,000 calculations, and then we need to analyze. The time frame for this project is 6 months. So in this, I need to look out for what are the skills required for my team, and what are the resources required, what are the tools required. So in this, I need to focus on carrying the execution successfully. Is it a easy flow of the tasks without any hiccups or without facing any bottlenecks, or the things how we do differently, or how we face the challenges in this project? So I am going to share in my next part of speech what are the takeaways from that projects, and what are the capabilities built to showcase for our customers from this project. So also, I'm going to share the learnings from this project. So stay tuned for the next part of project in the next week of Toastmaster meeting. Over to Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmasters Vilas. All the best for your project as well. So the timing sequence was again 2 to 3 minutes, and I request all of you to provide the feedback to Toastmasters Vilas on a private chat. And with that, let's wait for another 30 seconds and then we'll move on to speaker 4. Speaker 4 for today's meeting is someone who is equally passionate about traveling. In fact, he has taken a road trip from, any guesses? From Pune to Singapore. Yes, Toastmasters Radha, that's right. So we have Toastmasters Parijat Garg as the speaker 4 for today. And he will be also attempting the Innovative Planning Pathway Level 4 Project 1. And the title for his speech is Money Matters. The timing sequence for this speech is again 2 to 3 minutes, with a green card shown at 2 minutes, amber at 2.5, and red at 3 minutes. 30 seconds extra grace time will be given, and post which the speaker will be disqualified from the evaluations. The evaluator for this particular speech is Toastmasters Renu. So I request Toastmasters Renu to read out the objectives for this speech. Toastmasters Renu.
I think Renu, you are on mute if you're talking.
I think Toastmasters Renu right now is not there, but I welcome Toastmasters Parijat, the presiding officer as well for this club, for his speech on money matters. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Priyansha, I think we'll have to wait for the evaluator before I begin my speech. Vinod, would you like to just check with Renu if she's around?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Yeah, let's hold on for a few seconds. I think I can see her connected.
She not responding.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Amit, would you like to be the evaluator?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll just request someone to read out the objective because I do not have it handy.
Let me just forward it to you right away.
Yeah, maybe Tushar or Radha can read it out because I think the objective is same, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Tushar, Radha, anyone?
Is this your first speech or the second one?
First one, Radha.
First one, level 4.
So the purpose of the project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his or her team. All the best, Toastmaster Parijat.
Thank you.
So with that, so I welcome Toastmasters Parijat for his fourth speech, Money Matters. Toastmasters Parijat, over to you.
Okay. Am I visible and audible?
Yes.
All right. Sama, you can begin. The rich get richer, while the poor get poorer. Have you heard this before? Ambani, Jeff Bezos get richer every week. A common man does not. This gulf between the rich and the poor keeps getting wider, and more so in a country like ours. And have you wondered why? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, 3 out of every 4 Indian now know how to read or write. The improved literacy rates have made people more employable. So people earn, but they spend. Not everyone is able to plan for that bump in the road ahead. Any untoward incident in the life turns it topsy-turvy because they don't save for future. They're not financially covered for that rainy day. 75% of the Indians are financially illiterate. That means 1 of the 4 Indians only know how to manage money. And that's worrisome. My aim through this personal project is to educate and make people aware, at least 100 people over next 100 days, on the concept of personal finance and money management, so that these earning individuals can protect their family's future better. This project has 2 important legs, 2 C's, as I say: connecting with right communities for maximum result. And the target for me is underserved communities, maids, security guards, workers in apartments. The second C is creating relevant, relatable, educational content for direct practical use, an attractive presentation to explain, a brief 1-pager for their quick reference, and a handy worksheet for them to work out their personal numbers. I anticipate 3 weeks of time towards researching and preparing this content, followed by a test run in the 4th week with maybe 5 recipients to fine-tune it. What this project needs are 2 volunteers who are inspired with this purpose. Multifaceted individuals who understand bit of finance but can work in both these C's. And since it's a volunteer project, I do not anticipate any financial spends, just a commitment of your time. Whatever we do in our lives, money matters. How satisfying it will be to empower many such families manage their finances better and avoid financial mess. Now, who wants to come and join me for this cause? Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmasters Parijat. I'm sure money matters to a lot of families, especially when the financial illiteracy rate is much higher compared to other countries in the world. With that, let's pause for 30 seconds to give the feedback to the speaker on the personal chat, and let's wait for 30 seconds for that. I will also request Toastmaster Nitish to provide us the timers report for all of the speeches here. So Toastmasters Nitish, if I can request you to just provide the report, whether all of the speakers have qualified or not.
I would like to inform you that all the speakers are qualified and are eligible to be voted. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmasters Nitish. With that, I would request the poll to be launched for the voting to be done for the best speaker for today. Can we have the poll launched, please? Moving on to the next section of the theme today. Let me know again if my screen is visible. Okay, with that, just give me. Okay, so we are done with the speakers speaking about their projects. We'll move on to the next part of today's meeting. So when it comes to travel, so if you see my virtual background there, so the entire world, be it the land side of it or be it the water side of it, can be covered, but not in just one lifetime. The world is so diverse. So talking about when it comes to the diversity in terms of the travel, all of you would know that we have 7 continents and 5 oceans in the world. So when we are talking about a travel journey, how about we start from Asia as a continent there? So again, like I said, it will rain information like it is raining outside practically in Pune. So read and grab the information as much as you can, and you can see the dot, that's where Asia is located on the world map. So that's how there are more millionaires in Tokyo, and there are so big caves that you can fit the entire plane inside it and drink. Have you ever had snake wine? That's supposed to be improving your health in Vietnam. If you are afraid of heights or maybe having a vertigo issue, then you can actually go to Bai Long, where you can actually go up to 300 meters high in an elevator. Okay, that's really great because 150 volcanoes, imagine one volcano can create so much of ruckus than 150 volcanoes in Indonesia, and the only one country across the world which is not colonized by Europeans is Thailand. Again, there could be different impressions, but yes, Asia is equally rich in terms of when it comes to culture, history, or anything with respect to travel. There is enough and more diversity because in Japan, it's just like 6,000, close to 7,000 islands, and the government, imagine the way the government would have been working because it has the lowest crime rates reported across the world. The largest flower, which is again generally found in Malaysia, Thailand, and in Indonesia. And sometime back, there were images of Buddha floating as virtual background. So the largest Buddha's eyes, that's Leishan giant Buddha in China, is generally considered to have the largest eyes, which is 5 meters long. That is something that I could put in place for Asia. How about Australia? If you look at it, I'll just flash it all of it and then briefly talk about it. And of course, the last is the most important thing because it's a well-known fact. It was not a well-known fact for me, at least, that if I travel to Australia on one beach every day, it will take 27 to 29 years for me to, go through all the beaches in Australia. It's only continent without an active volcano, and most of it is covered with vegetation, and most of the country landmass is desert. There are over 60 different type of kangaroos. So when we think of kangaroos, it's just like one, that bear or koala mix kind of creature images that comes to our mind, but there are 60 different types of it. Human fights can go to that extent that Sydney and Melbourne could not decide, and that's why Canberra was selected as capital. Sydney and Melbourne could not decide which one should be selected as capital. The Great Barrier Reef, we have read, at least I have read much about it in my geography classes. Australia is the only country which is known to be like the Kalapani of the medieval period, because most of the continent has lost almost all of its indigeneity. Most of the people are either migrants or just travelers. And guess what? There was an Australian man who tried to sell New Zealand on eBay just for the price that you can see there on your screen right now. Again, Antarctica, I have never been there, but read about a lot. Anything which has very less annual precipitation, which means very less uh, cloud forming to water and to forming to steam, that's the process somewhere relates to precipitation. So anything which has very less annual precipitation is kind of desert. Antarctica as a place, there is so much of high density there that the diamond dust floats in the air. It is known as diamond dust because it gives that feeling of diamond dust, which is also kind of a contributor to the halos and to that northern lights that people talk about Antarctica. There is no time zone for it. And the most interesting fact is, if you are in Antarctica, whichever direction that you look for, whichever direction you look in, everything is north. So it's located in South Pole. So of course, about America, many of you would know more than me, of course, but there are some facts about America here. The name, the New York, which is very famous, that was given as a tribute to the Duke who ruled there sometime. And it has the longest cave in the world. I like South America more because it is the home to dance styles like tango and samba. And it is said that North America is home to dances like salsa and zumba as well to some extent. Talking about Africa, you talk about the largest, you talk about the longest, you talk about the largest and hottest desert, you talk about the highest bungee jumping, you talk about the largest wildlife immigration, and the pyramids. So while this is my personal belief that pyramids were not used to mummify the dead, but keeping that aside, it is home to the world's largest animal, source of the longest river, and the hottest desert and highest bungee jumping. I mean, I love bungee jumping that way. Wildlife immigration as well. Europe is so diverse, so the diversity is very much viable, visible on the internet. But I still believe India is more diverse. Again, few facts about Europe there, because it is said that first human arrives around 38,000 BC, but plague killed almost like more than 60% of the Europeans. And they are one of the biggest consumers of the world chocolate. I don't know how, but anyway. Okay, moving on. If you see, I'll come back to this next. So that was on the land masses for the country, for this particular earth. Now, if I talk about the water part of it, the oceans, which means that actually covers more than 70%, and there are more historical artifacts, including the Titanic, and there are more water chains, and there could be a possibility of lakes and seas and more oceans to be found underneath one particular ocean. That's how majestic it is. So of course, I call it Your Majesty. And in terms of when we go to a beach, when we see that beach, we just see a very, very tiny fraction of the entire oceanic world that we have. So briefly talking about the 5 oceans there, we have Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, which is also the home of Bermuda Triangle. And we have Global Ocean, that is something new, very recently came into picture. And then the Arctic Ocean, which is mostly blocked from the sun rays because of the thick ice that it has. And the Southern Ocean, of course, that's not it's just one part, because we have the biggest one left in terms of Indian Ocean, which is the warmest ocean, and that's why that's the most explored ocean that we have right now in the world, after Atlantic and Pacific, of course. And that has a submerged continent. I'm sure that this is only submerged continent that is found and written on the internet. I'm sure we have more. So, and that is believed to be of volcanic origins. The world is full of surprises and diversity. So it's, again, completely depends on wanderlust people who do not care about the bump in the road to travel across, gather as much as facts that they can, and of course, make internet rich about it. So again, sorry, I had to do this, but then with that, I am moving on, we are moving on to the next section of the meeting, which is, of course, an impromptu section. And to manage this section of this meeting, we have somebody who believes that failures can never overtake anyone in case if the determination to succeed is strong enough. I'm sure you all have seen this particular screen, so I'm welcoming Toastmasters Vinod to take over this section of table topics and round robin. Toastmasters Vinod, I request you to introduce yourself and then take over from here.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyansha. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay. Area Director, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster of the Day, and fellow Toastmaster, and my future Toastmaster. I am a table topic master, Vinod. You are table topic master for today's meeting. We have two parts in impromptu speaking. The first one is the round robin, where each of you will get this chance to speak for the 15 seconds. The second part is the table topics, where I select a few of you and get the chance to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Let me explain for the benefits of everyone, the benefits of impromptu speaking. So impromptu speaking helps us to develop the 4 skills that we call as LTOD. L stand for listening, where I will mention the topic twice only. You have to remember that. That improve your listening skill. Second is the thinking. You have to think on the theme topic and collect the points to speak. Just a minute. Third one is the organizing. Organize the things you collected and like the end, middle portion or the beginning of the speech. And the last one is the delivery. I urge every speaker to use the word of the day and the phrase of the day in your speech. Okay, so let's begin. First session will be the round robin. I will begin with my travel story since today we have theme travel. I will deliver my story first and I take the next speaker name. So next speaker or all speakers have to speak only for the 15 seconds, not more than 15 seconds or less than 15 seconds. Okay, I also request the speaker to switch on their videos while speaking. So shall we start? Timer, Nitish, are we ready? Okay, so just going before one twist I have in the round robin. So what we are going to do, so first speaker will use the word of the day in the speech. And the second, next we'll use the phrase of the day, that is the bump on the road. And word of the day is already introduced by Ajay, that's a wanderlust. And if you want to use both, that's fine. Okay, so Toastmaster Nitish, are you ready? Can start?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, even though I had a heavy nose bleeding before my Everest base camp, I could not resist my wanderlust to see the God's beautiful creation. I was so excited to see the Everest, even though there were too many bumps on the road, but I kept moving. So next, I would like to speak Toastmaster Amit.
Now, Vinod had many bumps in the road, but he successfully managed to overcome them in his wanderlust. Similarly, when I was traveling to Sikkim, I also encountered many bumps in the road. Even the roads were closed, but I successfully completed my wanderlust.
Okay. Toastmaster Shivani.
Last year, I had visited God's own country, Kerala, and while traveling to Munnar, I experienced a lot of bump in the roads because of the hilly mountains over there. But it was really an enriching experience to visit Munnar.
Next is Toastmaster Santosh.
After the lockdown, I try to go for hiking, but my kids bump of the road and don't like to walk outside the home, but still I took them and take near to them in nature.
Okay, so next one is Toastmaster Narayanan.
Actually, I like traveling a lot, but in the past 1.5 years, where we have been, we came here to Pune. So, but the traveling thing is not yet fulfilled. I have to. I am aspiring to travel a lot, but it is yet to be fulfilled.
So next one is Toastmaster Renu.
I strongly believe that a bump in the road can never be a reason for achieving your wanderlust and achieving your dreams.
Okay, so next is Toastmaster Vilas.
Yeah, by seeing the presentation, the Toastmaster of the day, she covered all continentals, all countries, and all oceans, Antarctica, and that. No, only two things I saw that missed is one is Chandrayana and Mangalyana. Maybe because of Shah Rukh Khan has not returned till it is like a bump in the road. So I have a wanderlust for that, so those two.
Good. Okay, so next one, guest Abhijit. Guest Abhijit, if you can mute and speak for 15 seconds. Okay, I think Abhijit not able to unmute. So next one is Avinash, Toastmaster Avinash.
My wanderlust started my journey to the Simla and Kulu Manali, and it was an awesome trip which we enjoyed a lot. Though there was a bump on the road to reach to the Rohtang Pass, but we enjoyed being in India for the very nice.
Okay, so next one is Toastmaster Sonika.
Hi all. Last year I visited to UK, which is Uttarakhand in India, to the mountains. I experienced a lot of bumps in the road. I experienced all the weather and seasons from the rain to the dust to the sunshine, and it was an awesome experience.
Okay, next one is Toastmaster Ajay.
I visited the beautiful mountain country of Nepal this year, and that gave me the opportunity to appreciate the mighty Everest and the beautiful lakes that satisfied my wanderlust.
Okay. So next one is guest Dhanashree. So guest Dhanashree, if you can unmute and speak for 15 seconds.
Yeah, this year I traveled to some Lonavala side. There also I experienced a bump in the road, but that experience was nice.
Okay. So next one is Toastmaster Subodh.
Despite facing multiple bumps in the road, like missing trains twice and having thick fog in the weather, we were able to visit Manali, and one additional day was added to our journey, and we visited Taj Mahal as well.
Toastmaster Tushar.
Once you have got wanderlust in your blood, you have got it for life. Once you are a Toastmaster, you are a Toastmaster for life. You may face many bumps in the road, as Toastmaster Renu can successfully say that.
Okay. Toastmaster Radha.
Recent wanderlust to be in Goa took me there, and consequently, I had a lot of bump in the road, which everybody is aware, but I have overcome them.
Okay. Guest Shirish. Guest Shirish, if you can unmute and speak for 15 seconds.
Yeah, I traveled this year for Lonavala. I traveled through bike, and biggest bump on the road for this pandemic, because I didn't get to travel much longer. Like I have to finish by Pune only. I'm not able to reach outer side of Pune. Thank you.
Okay, so next one is guest Komal. Yes, Komal, if you can unmute and speak for 15 seconds.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Like everyone, I was also having the wanderlust of traveling to Uttarakhand, but this pandemic it came as the bump in the road, and surely after this pandemic, I will travel to Uttarakhand. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Toastmaster Manu.
Yeah, hi everyone. Seeing everyone's wallpaper, my wanderlust is getting stronger now. And I really hope that we should come out of this bump in the road, which is a current situation soon. Thank you.
Okay. Toastmaster Hina.
Um, it's been there've been a lot of bumps in the road trying to convince my parents to let fulfill my wanderlust to travel to different places. But the maximum I've been successful is to let them fulfill my wanderlust of just roaming around in Pune and in and around Mumbai.
Guest Shweta. Guest Shweta, unmute and speak for 15 seconds.
There are so many bumps in the road in the path of success. Overcome it, the success is yours.
Okay. Toastmaster Manisha.
Actually, I'm not a wanderlust, but my daughter's passion for sports has taken me to places like Bemtara and Davangiri. And therefore, it has actually evoked being a wanderlust. I'm sure whatever is the bump in the road, we'll definitely overcome and regain this habit, or at least develop this habit of being a wanderlust.
Okay. Toastmaster Priyansha.
Well, I definitely have wanderlust in myself, but major bump in the road for me was traveling from Hadapsar to Hinjawadi almost on a daily basis. So I'm just waiting for this to get over, and I will definitely travel to somewhere else. Thank you so much.
Okay. Toastmaster Parijat.
I think hearing what Toastmaster Priyansha said, I recall the speech by Toastmaster Amit, where the journey was from Balewadi to Khed, and it had multiple bumps in the road. And I think that hearing that itself, it quelled my wanderlust.
Okay. Toastmaster Nitish.
Well, my bump was on the road was when I went to Jungfrau in Switzerland, and where I was not able to enjoy it because I was facing I was vomiting and puking, so I couldn't enjoy. But still, after that, I visited another mountain where I didn't face that experience, so I got to enjoy. Back to that.
Okay, that's great. Is there guest Abhijit? If you can unmute and speak for 15 seconds. Okay. Is there anyone miss? You can speak.
Vinod, I was missed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Toastmaster Shlok.
My friends and I decided to satisfy our wanderlust by going to the Rishikesh mountains when our bus broke down. It was a bump in the road, but that little detour kind of made us enjoy it more because it was in the middle of the Himalayas and it was very interesting.
That's great. I think all of you enjoy this. Okay. So I think it's time for a break. Can we take 2-minute break, Parijat, or more than that? You're on mute. So
I was saying we are running a little late, Vinod, so I think we can take a minute's break and then we can.
All right. So take a minute's break and yeah,
right now
5:25 will come back. All right. Thanks. So let's begin with the table topic. And I'm sure you will get definitely some gifts today. Let me explain the timing sequence first. So table topic, we are timing 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute is the green, 1.5 minutes is the yellow, and the 2 minutes is the red. And you will get a 30-second grace time to speak. After 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will be disqualified for the voting. So let me share my screen. I will select the, call out the table topic speaker name, and you have to select the topic from the list. And Okay, so let me know if my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I'm sure you are seeing here is a trip sponsored by Table Topic Master. There is a condition apply. I'm definitely one thing can be say winner will get the certificate at the end of meeting. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to choose your package here, and according to your package, you will get the topic for the speech. So let's start. So first person I would like to call is the Toastmaster Hina. So Toastmaster Hina, please switch on your video, unmute your microphone, and tell me which package you would like.
A trip to the moon.
Trip to the moon. All right. Okay. So here is this. So your topic is Toastmaster Hina, the rise of selfie culture and what it means for you. The rise of selfie culture and what it means for you, Toastmaster Hina.
Okay, so we go on a walk or in a garden and we see someone taking a selfie. Then we probably wondering what is behind the, basically what is the idea behind the just take a normal picture, why a selfie? But selfie is more about us and what so it is more about you and the place together. So if you don't find anyone else to click a picture, take a selfie. Yesterday or day before yesterday only, Toastmaster Tushar told me to take a selfie with the surprise gift I had gotten for the registration for Toastmasters. And I was wondering, I'm looking very bad, or why should I take a selfie? So I just decided to just take a picture of the gift and send it to Toastmaster Tushar just to reduce my work. So nowadays the selfie culture is on a rise, but it's not such a bad thing, though one must be careful of them taking selfies and stay safe, because there have been a lot of mishaps that go in and around selfies. So continue taking selfies, just have fun and stay safe. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Toastmaster Hina. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so next one is Toastmaster Manisha. So Toastmaster Manisha, please select your package from this. So trip to moon is gone already.
Okay, so one package is all right. I'll take 5 days in Paris.
5 days in Paris. So here it is go. So your topic is Toastmaster Manisha. What's your favorite childhood memory? Travel childhood memory. What's your favorite travel childhood memory? Toastmaster Manisha.
Okay. When it comes to childhood memory for your travel, I think most of the times what you have heard is what your parents tell you, where did they take you and what happened with you. You might not be remembering many of that, but there are some memories that I have very clear memories. For 8 years, my dad, he was in Libya, and we were there for 8 years. And while coming every year, while coming from Libya to India and going back, we would visit one country. So whether it was Paris, whether it was Italy, whether it was Switzerland. So definitely I've heard these names and in the short memory that I have. But yes, one of the incidents that he tells me is that when we had visited the Vatican City, I got lost because I actually was holding the hand of our guide and I forgot where my parents were. And suddenly they entered and I was left behind, and the guide also left my hand. So the policeman, he actually looked that I was looking quite, I was looking here and there and trying to search somebody. So he picked me up and he couldn't understand, but he understood that I'm kind of a lost and found case here. So, and then could place my mom, who was also trying to look that where her baby has gone, where her child has gone. So he picked me up and, did like this and showed to her that are you looking for her? So, and then my mom said yes. And then he just put me, inside the line. So that was one thing that actually I can remember very clearly. So thankfully I was found. I did not get lost and came back to India with her. So, so there have been some amazing memories of my childhood. My parents keep on telling me that we took you to Goa. Beyond the photograph, that is around when I was, I think, 6 months. I don't remember anything of Goa. So that is one place I would really want to go. And yeah, so there are multiple places. And as I've been saying that I would really want to discover the wanderlust in me. A lot of, when I started thinking of it, there have been a lot of there have been a lot of bumps in the road, but I'm sure that I'm going to rediscover myself, and whatever I don't remember as places where I visited in childhood, I would definitely want to revisit them. And one or two places that I have actually visited again is Paris. And it was wonderful to think that this is one of the places that you had been when you were there as a child. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manisha.
Just to inform one thing, I actually clicked the wrong one for rather than instead of table topics, I've clicked the standard speech. So you might have exceeded the time. So is there any consideration for that, or?
Yeah, Nitish, you can look at the exact time.
Yeah, I think
because I couldn't actually see the time on my screen also.
Yeah, so we'll consider her in the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Extremely sorry
qualified.
from my side.
No worries. Yeah, we'll consider her
No
qualified.
issue. No issue.
Okay, so thanks, Toastmaster Manisha. So let's. I'm sharing my screen again. Topic, speaker. Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you select any package from this? I think Paris and road to trip to Pune is done already. So yeah, 6 more to select.
5 days in Dubai.
All right, so here it is go, 5 days in Dubai. So it's all travel, passion.
Yeah. Can I start? Hello? Can I start?
Vinod
Yeah,
is
you
facing
can.
internet
Out
issues.
for
Yeah, you can.
Toastmaster Narayanan, travel,
Yeah.
passion out for.
Traveling, I do like traveling, but since childhood I haven't traveled much. In around 2011 we moved to Delhi. From Delhi, in Delhi we lived for around 7 years, and then from there we came to Pune last 1.5 years back. But traveling as such is not my passion, but I like local traveling, seeing mountains, beaches, and things like that. And usually I travel to spiritual places like Rishikesh and things like that. And there is a lot of fun in traveling. I like traveling a lot, but not much. Not usually in this lockdown period, I haven't traveled a lot. So it is somewhat like a passion, but not really coming true. Because of this lockdown period, it is very tough to travel, and it is not safe to travel as well. So I have been restricted to traveling, but traveling is somewhat I like it. Thank you.
Right, thanks. It's nice, Toastmaster Narayanan. Okay, so I will share my screen again. We have one guest Komal. So guest Komal, can you select the topic or package from this, the remaining one?
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Holiday in Switzerland. I will choose.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go. Okay, so topic is things I wish know before I went traveling. Toastmaster Komal, things I wish know before I went traveling.
Okay. So it is a good topic. So recently, not recently actually, last year I traveled to Aurangabad, and at that time my friends planned the trip. So I was unaware about the timings when we are traveling to Ajanta and Verul caves. So that day we went in the morning around 10 o'clock, and whole day we were traveling around the caves, and it was very hectic because of the sun. There was no water, and that trip was like a disaster for our personal health. And so at the time I thought I should know about the things like what is the correct time to travel at that place, and when one should go there. Then you should be prepared with all your or facilities, like you should take water, food, because there was no any good food around. So yeah, I wish I knew about all these things before traveling. So so further I can plan better. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guest Komal. Parijat, how about timing? Can you take one or we're running late?
We're running late, but if you want to take one, just go ahead.
Okay, so I think let's take one, last one. So let me share my screen. And the speaker is Toastmaster Slope. So Toastmaster Slope, please select your package from this.
You're on mute.
Oh, sorry, Australia. I think I forgot to unmute.
So which one package you want to go?
Australia. I've always wanted to see the wildlife over there.
All right, here it's go. Okay, so topic is Toastmaster Slope, the sea, on it, in it, or stay on the dry land. The sea, on it, in it, or stay on the dry land, Toastmaster Slope.
At a young age, I had gone to the Bahamas on a cruise ship. And I remember one of my first memories of going there was with my dad in the sea. So I was about 5 or 6 years old. And so we are going in deeper and deeper. And at this one moment, this huge, massive wave came onto us, completely singeing our eyes. And we were just like, oh my God, this is so bad. I had a huge fear of water after that. I couldn't even swim for until I was about 13 or 14. And so I used to stay away from any seas, oceans whenever I went to a beach. But as I grew up, I started like trying out new things. My dad made me go parasailing in Goa, where the boat and you're on a parachute, they make you fly up. And so we went parasailing, and then I started enjoying the sea more and more. And I think stuff like scuba diving, snorkeling, and all just made it even better. Once in Thailand, there is this thing where you wear this helmet and you go down deep into the ocean where you can see the coral around it. It was a common spot, and there weren't so many fish, but it just it just increased my wanderlust of the sea. And that's why I would say if you're going to any place and there's an ocean, it's a must to at least visit it and check out the diverse nature which is present there. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Slope. All right. So we'll end here the table topic session. So I will ask the timers report. So timer, if we can provide whether all speakers are qualified for voting.
So all speakers are qualified for voting. So back to you, Toastmaster Vinod.
Okay. So I'll ask Sar to float the poll for the best table topic speaker.
Vinod, you can proceed.
All right. So I hope you all enjoyed the table topic. It's over to you now, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmasters, Vinod. That was really a great one. I mean, I'm sure people would have enjoyed their travel by selecting the respective package that you had to present. With that, I will just share the screen once again. Let me know if you can see that. For the wanderlust in me, travel is not restricted to this world or maybe any continent or for that matter, any other ocean. When I talk about it, I do consider time travel as a very important and happening concept. You see, there are multiple words as per me. So I'll just give you a glimpse of what is there to expect when you talk about the time travel. There was, in July 1954, there was a man who came up. And when he checked on to, when he submitted his passport at the check-in counter, the country that was mentioned in his passport name that was never there in existence. So when people interrogated him, the person told me that he stayed in some country which was somewhere in between France and Spain. That person was a polyglot, which means the person knew many languages. Later, he disappeared, I mean, without a trace. The story became so popular that there is a book written on that, which is named as A Man from Torrid. Torrid is the name of the country that he mentioned on his passport. So of course, that gives us a view that there must be some concept of time travel as well. Just to give you a bit more view, if you go ahead and read on the internet stories of Brooklyn. So there are many stories in Brooklyn that are famous on internet at least on the time travel bit. There is one more. So who this person is? Any idea? This looks like a very common man, but then this person appeared all of a sudden in November 2000. He told that his name was John Titor, and he started answering questions online about time travel. He claimed that he was from 2036 and there was a world war that is happening, and the world is torn between because the war is happening between US and Russia. And there were only few people who have survived, and he is one of those. He has come back to the past. He actually claimed that he has come back from the past to retrieve something, and he asked for a specific computer that is till date not in existence. He was there for 4 months and all of a sudden disappeared. Okay, so that is just to give you that is just to create some intrigue in your mind, because if you have the real wanderlust, it should not be limited to stuff of this world or stuff whatever your eyes can only see. So there are many things that are waiting for you to come and explore and just to read and gain knowledge and even tell the other people about it. With that, I invite you all to move to our second section of this meeting, which is on evaluations. And I invite the general evaluator for this meeting to take on the evaluations. The person who actually believes that the need at the core for all human beings is just one. Any guesses, except the general evaluator? Any guesses? What is that one core need this person believes in?
Communicate.
Happiness.
Sorry.
Communicate.
No, it's just to be happy in journey called life. Let's welcome Toastmasters Amit as general evaluator for this meeting to provide evaluations to all the speakers. Toastmasters Amit, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyansha, for that wonderful introduction and the session so far. Now, all of us have traveled this travelogue, which she has brought as a journey of imaginations. Now, Toastmasters is also a journey, and I welcome you in this second session, which is again a journey of feedbacks. Now, we start the feedback time with the general evaluation section, and I am Toastmaster Amit, your general evaluator for the day. Now, we will have this general evaluation section in 3 parts. First, we will start with the evaluations of the prepared speeches. We had 4 speeches. We will have 4 evaluators evaluating them. Then we will have role player reports and their feedbacks. And then we will have a general evaluator report from my side. And I have someone special to keep an eye on me during my general evaluation. You can see him. Can you see him? He will keep an eye on me when I am doing the general evaluation. All right, I will just ensure you see him. All right, so we'll start with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. To evaluate the first speech, we have someone who I know is very hardworking person, and he has been with this club for quite some time. Let me welcome Toastmaster Subodh to present his evaluation for the first speech delivered by Toastmaster Avinash. And the timing sequence for evaluations is 2 to 3 minutes, which means green at 2, yellow or amber at 2.5, and red at 3, and a 30-second grace time to finish up the evaluation. So Toastmaster Subodh, can you please come on stage and present your evaluation?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Amit. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, my target speaker, Toastmaster Avinash. You have touched upon an important topic that I always struggle with, that is habits. You have successfully made me realize how habits can make you and also break you if not mended on time. You have started your speech with few rhetoric questions. That was a good start. And the most impressive part of your speech was based on science research. You have added interesting science-based facts like neuroscience and the brain chemistry behind habits. So this research has made your speech more credible and it has made more convincing to us. And not just science, you have also added humor in your speech. Like you use words like spider web and steel, and postponing the Toastmaster speech as well by contacting Toastmaster Vinod. You have also ended your speech with a powerful learning, powerful solution that is using 3 aspects to eradicate bad habits. I have noticed that throughout the speech you were calm and comfortable. There was no long disconnect between the speech. That is a huge improvement from your last speech. There were few repetitions, but you can definitely work upon that. And throughout the speech, I have seen that your energy was good, which is also a good improvement from your past speech. So regarding the objective of your speech, yes, you have. It is evident from your speech that you have successfully achieved both the objectives. That is, you have applied your past feedback. Your past feedback was to work upon the disconnect in the speech and also to work on the energy throughout the speech. You have worked on that successfully. Congratulations. So I have few recommendations for you. The first recommendation is regarding repetitions. Yes, it is. Yes, you can work upon the repetitions part by practicing more. And I came across that you can use a virtual reality technology also to overcome this fear of public speaking. So that would also help you in eradicating this repetitions part. And also it will help you to manage your time. And the second recommendation is regarding making the speech more impactful. So I think that you can make the speech more impactful by stressing more on the 3 aspects you have mentioned in the conclusion. That is setting up a goal and actions, and then prioritizing, and adding more knowledge to eradicate these bad habits. If you could add a personal story to this, to your speech, then it would be very more convincing. So these are my 2 cents to the speech. And overall, your speech was good, very informative, and delivered very well. There were a few bumps on the road, but still, with little bit practice, you can be a better speaker. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subodh. I'm sure the speaker will be getting a lot of inputs and can work upon them. Moving on to the second evaluator to evaluate the second speech for this meeting. We have someone, I think he doesn't need any introduction. Let me welcome Toastmaster Tushar to present the evaluation for the second speech for the meeting. Toastmaster Tushar, can you please present the evaluation?
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible and visible clearly?
Yes.
Sure. Timer, you can start. This quote is dedicated to those who work in acres, not in hours. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. I'm sure most of you know a very famous slogan by our second Prime Minister of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. In 1965, at a public gathering at Ram Leela Maidan, Delhi. The purpose of your project was to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of your team. And the speech purpose was to give a short overview of the plan of your project. You had limited time of 2 to 3 minutes to convey your message to the audience. You bang on came up with a viable plan to help those who needs the most. According to the report, an average agriculture household earns a meager amount of rupees 6,500 per month or rupees 77,000 a year in India. You touched upon a very famous or very nice point stating that farmers do not have a choice to set their price, and you want to help them to uplift their economic status. You define your speech objective by stating the plan, which can be understood by a layman by defining the sources you require for your project, like software engineer, logistic and procurement officer with prior industry experience. You even stated the funding required for your project, and then you jumped on to stating the project timeline. So great job done on that. To lift your speech to the next level so that you don't face any bumps in the road in your Toastmaster journey, I have a slight recommendation for you. I felt the transition when jumping to the timeline of your project was slight abrupt with no ending, and it has no impact. However, you had precious 2 to 3 minutes to explain your project, wherein you could have stated the fact, how you would be delivering in the form of your future speeches, or maybe touching upon to the metrics of why you chose 4 to 6 months of your time period, or why you need a team of 3 people, considering the audience may or may not be aware about their profession. However, you met your speech objective by stating a viable plan for your project. So wonderful job on that. To summarize, a wonderful project planning and stating the mission of your project. If you could work upon few recommendations, I'm sure you have already lifted many lives by explaining in fewer words that if you are having a food in your plate, thank a farmer. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Tushar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tushar. I'm sure the speaker will utilize the feedback in the next speech. Moving on to the third evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Radha, who again needs no introduction. She will be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Vilas. Can I request Toastmaster Radha to please come on the virtual stage and present the evaluation?
Yes. Good evening, Presiding Officer and fellow Toastmasters. Today, I'm the evaluator for Toastmaster Vilas. And Toastmaster Vilas, as always, you have amazed me with your speech, especially when I have observed your speech with a careful consideration. We all know that the smart work requires careful planning and execution. So surely you took us to all the detailed steps of how a successful project planning is a must in any profession. The way that you started your speech was amazing. I wanted to listen to what next, because I'm a professional. So I want to listen. How can I do my project with more of a better delivery? And you bang on started with admin work, monitoring, input and output. What else does it require a project to be executed? The suppliers, customers, and what are the characteristics of a project work? Then you mentioned, outline exactly how will you be executing, what are your plans. And you clearly mentioned that you will be working with 4 members and it is going to be an automobile project. The time frame that you set it out for 6 months and the things that you were looking out for a project were a good execution with no bottleneck. And of course, when you execute a project work, you come across the challenges, and then you said that you're going to help them overcome. Like any other speech, we all come across the bump in the road, and certainly you've had a few of them that I'd like to highlight so that you can include them in your next speech and take it to the next level. So here's the first one. Do not miss out to state the objectives of your project. What are the objectives? What is it that you're trying to achieve? With the 4 members that you have requested, they work for an automobile company. Certainly you could have said, I want them to handle the 4 different segments of the automobile company, and that's how I plan to execute. You gave us a number of 12,000 calculation. That could have been avoided. Any project work has key elements. If you could have highlighted those key elements like stakeholders' needs, objectives, your deliverables, the schedules, the roles and responsibilities, just in the bulletins would have helped all the audience. All in all, great speech, very confident, poised and a calm, your posture in front of the screen. And what I like the best in the end, when you said, stay tuned for my next project, next of the speech. So all the best, and I look forward to hearing your next speech, Toastmaster Vilas. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radha. And we all look forward to Vilas' next speech. Now moving on, we have the 4th evaluator to evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Parijat. Now she is starting her 2nd stint with Toastmasters, and we welcome her to our club. Let me welcome Toastmaster Renu on the virtual stage to present her evaluation for the speech given by Toastmaster Parijat. Toastmaster Renu, can you come on the virtual stage, please?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amit. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. A very good evening to the presiding officer, the Toastmaster of the day, and fellow Toastmasters. Today I'm here as an evaluator for evaluating Toastmaster Parijat's speech. And first of all, let me begin to make a very important statement. Money is something that money does by itself. A very strong statement, isn't it? When I say money is something what money does, Toastmaster Parijat has taken the initiative to lay down a project plan and initiate his next plan of action for his upcoming journey, a wanderlust, whether be it with a bump in a road or not, but he has been very confident and very clear in putting forward his idea of his project plan in his journey of dealing with the money matters. When I heard Parijat's speech, I though had a disconnect in between, but I don't think I have missed out much on anything. I believe that the clarity in putting forward his idea towards his plan of action for money has been very precise. I strongly felt that his variations in his vocal quality have been very much amazing, and the way he has presented his idea and the plan that he looks forward to work on, I think that has made each one of us in this room today to visualize what exactly is next going to happen when it comes to Parijat dealing with money matters in his future journey. A very impact making and a very confident line of action, I must say, that has been put forward by Parijat, and very expressive in his ideas. Moreover, when I say not only clarity or vocal variance, but at the same time, his plan of action also spoke about what could be the pros and cons, what is the strong base which is required to take this plan forward. that was one strong point that I really felt. But then moving forward to what I really feel where Parijat needs to really work more on, or what can really a speech for money matters would be. I think, as we all know, I'm here today after a very long time. I though have attended Toastmasters sessions as a guest, but today I'm here as an evaluator after a very long time. So I'm sure you all guys know that Parijat is definitely a very confident Toastmaster, and when it comes to delivering a speech towards a very strong topic as money, I think he has been very clear in his ideas. But a very strong statement as a beginning punchline with a more interactive session with the audience, I think would have really, really helped him make this more strong and more interactive. And at the same time, engaging audience with more question answers in that quick span of time would have really, really brought him a bit longer way. So a quick idea to all the Toastmasters: when you look forward for a wanderlust and money matters, something which you consider, Parijat is the answer to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renu. I'm sure Parijat will use those in the next Money Matters Part 2. Thank you to all the evaluators. Can I request the timer to please let us know the timing of all the evaluators and have they qualified for the voting?
So the time taken for Toastmasters Subodh is 3 minutes 17 seconds. The time taken for Toastmaster Tushar is 3 minutes 5 seconds. The time taken for Toastmaster Radha is 3 minutes 9 seconds, and the time taken for Toastmaster Renu is 3 minutes 10 seconds. So all are all are qualified and
Thank you. Thank you, Nitish. So everyone qualifies. May I request the Sergeant at Arms to please launch the poll. To everyone here, you will see a polling on your screen, and please vote for the best evaluator who, as per you, evaluated the best, used everything of public speaking and evaluation techniques.
Parijat, you would want to include one name in the polling?
So this is evaluator, Shivani. So the 4 evaluators will be.
Yeah, I cannot see Toastmaster Renu's name. Okay, now I can see, fine.
Okay, yeah, there was a glitch. Thank you, Shivani and Parijat.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sure you guys must be voting or have already voted. We'll move on. So that concludes our first section of the evaluations. We have the evaluations done for all the 4 speeches. Now we would move on to the role players report. Now I'll start with the R counter report. I'll welcome Toastmaster Sonika on virtual stage to please present her report on the R counters for this meeting. Toastmaster Sonika.
Sure. Thanks, Amit. So, good evening, all. I wasn't Wanderlust, but after attending TMOD's Priyansha's presentation, I am tempted to become one and all ready to enjoy all the bumps that will come in the road. Presenting my R report, let me take you through the report. Speaker Vinash used crust sounds less than 5 and overlong pauses less than 5. Evaluator Subodh used less than 5 crust sounds. Table topic master Vinod used crust sounds less than 10. Table topic master Manisha used crust sounds less than 10 and filler sounds less than 10. Table topic speaker Narayana used crust sounds less than 10 and filler was less than 5. TMOD Priyansha used crust sounds less than 10 and overlong pauses less than 5. We had Shivani, Parijat, Tushar, and Radha as a flawless speakers. Thank you very much. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonika, for that crisp report. Now we will move on to the report on language. I'll welcome Toastmaster Ajay, who is the language evaluator for the day, to please present his report for the language used in the meeting today. Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you, General Evaluator. We indeed traveled the world and rekindled the fond memories of our past travels. The Toastmaster of the day shared so many travel trivias. Now let's have the language report for the meeting. We had some excellent uses of English language by all the role players, which definitely accentuated the travel experiences without any bump in the road and made it memorable. Now let me share the people who used the word of the day and phrase of the day of the meeting. Actually, I had around 5 to 6 role players who used the word of the day, phrase of the day effectively in the first half. However, when the table topic master, Toastmaster Vinod, played his master stroke, which eradicated the bump in the road for everyone in this meeting and ensured that everyone's wanderlust is revealed. However, I'll announce the Toastmaster who used the word of the day and phrase of the day the maximum number of times, and he is none other than the Toastmaster Parijat. So he used the word of the day and phrase of the day 6 times. Now, let me see the report on the good usage of English language. The beautiful words and phrases used during the meetings were enchanting beauty, lush green landscape, splendid and surreal start, mess with your head, all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter, a picture means 1,000 words, gulf between the rich and poor getting wider, recipients to fine tune it, then words like topsy-turvy, which means upside down or a state of utter confusion. And then somebody used multifaceted individuals. That means having different aspects or features of an individual. Somebody used the word intrigue, which means arouse the curiosity or interest. And the last being good execution with no bottlenecks. And coming to not so effective usage of English language or grammatical errors, the first being someone mentioned we cannot broke the habits. The correct usage would have been we cannot break the habits. The second one, someone mentioned what we are defined for. I suppose the speaker intended to say what we have been or what we have defined for ourselves. And one of the pronunciation error that I found is somebody pronounced the word farmer in place of farmer. So overall, the standard of English and the grammar used was excellent. So a pat on the back for everyone. Over to you as General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay, for that wonderful report. I'm sure every one of us will benefit from the not so good usages, what we need to improve. Thank you. So my time has come. Apna time aa gaya. And now it's my time, and I have someone who will keep an eye on me. All right. So I'll start the report, and I'll start with someone who started the meeting, the Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shivani. I understand this might be your first role, and you started on time, and you set up the context for the meeting where you use that those 3 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes out of those 3 minutes allotted to you to speak something on the theme, and ensure that you use your stage time to gain something, and which I recommend everyone to do, that utilize something of your stage time to speak on the theme or anything you wish, and utilize the concepts or techniques of public speaking then and there. Read out the mission well, rules quite well, and I really liked the unique introduction of the presiding officer, not the regular mundane introduction that we have of Parijat or the presiding officer. So job well done, and keep taking roles, keep using the stage, and help all of us to learn with the techniques. No recommendation for you. So thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. Moving on, Toastmaster Nitish, I understand your first role as well. Do we have Nitish? He's okay. His camera is switched off. Nitish, you introduced your role quite well. It was a crisp report. Every time you shared the report, and you used the clock quite well. Just a hiccup was there, a bump in the road, but that was overcome in the next timing. Uh, uh, just a recommendation for you or anyone who takes the timer role. You might also like to take, when you are coming on stage to introduce your role, use those 10-15 seconds to speak something on the theme or anything you wish to, so that you also utilize your stage time, and in every meeting as timer, do something or speak, whoever takes the timer role next. Other than that, role well done, and I hope you enjoyed as well. Keep taking up more and more roles. Thank you, Toastmaster Nitish. Moving on to the R counter. I liked how she also spoke on the theme. She explained the role quite well, like what she is going to do in the meeting. Then when she came back to present her report, I really liked how she brought back again that what was the theme of the meeting. She spoke about again her travel journeys, and then she started with the R counter report. And I liked how she did not say that somebody has said 15, 20. So she restricted it to less than 5, less than 10. I think that much is enough for any speaker to improve on the R counts he or she wishes to do. Now, to challenge yourself, Toastmaster Swanika, or anyone who is going to take this role next, when you present your what you are going to do in this role at the start, you might like to give a tip to all of us how we can stop or reduce the R's and ums. One tip could be that when you are feeling nervous, just take a pause so that you do not utter unnecessary words. So as our counter, that will help us go a long way and utilize that those tips live in the meeting. Other than that, role well done. Thank you, and keep taking more and more roles. Moving on to the language evaluator, Toastmaster Ajay. He also started speaking with on the theme, and I really liked how he circled back what he spoke about the theme to the language evaluation role, where he said that travels also help us to learn about languages. Now that was something really good, and circle back. Word of the day, phrase of the day were quite easy and related to the theme, and I'm sure at least I will not forget these words and will keep on using these. The report, when he came back, he again circled back to the theme, spoke a bit about the theme, and started with his report. The report, word of the day, phrase of the day. Now, there were so many usages. He chose to speak about who used it maximum, and I like the innovation. He spoke about good usages and not so good usages, and again, he corrected the not so good usages. Overall, quite well, quite crisp report. Just one recommendation is that like we follow a CRC approach. So maybe next time, or anyone who takes the language evaluator next time may like to go with first a C, like the word of the day, phrase of the day, then sandwich in between the recommendation of not so good usages, and then bring back the good usages. Other than that, job well done, and thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. Moving on, the table topics master, Toastmaster Vinod, explained the role well. He explained what are the benefits of impromptu speaking. The LTOD, this acronym will help us remember what is LTOD and why impromptu speaking is important. And as Ajay said, he brought the master card or master class, you can say, to use the word of the day and phrase of the day. That was really innovative. So well done, Toastmaster Vinod, on that. And then I also found the topics very innovative. I thought that why he's showing the topics from the start, but then he again brought a master card where if you click the card, you see a different topic. So well done, Toastmaster Vinod, on that. Just one recommendation to you, or to anyone who takes the table topics master's role next time, just to save some more time. I mean, avoid the things like next is Toastmaster XYZ, or let me call next. Just in the round robin, take the name. As soon as 15 seconds is over, take the name. Do not let the person go beyond 15 seconds, because time becomes very critical in these round robins. So thank you, Toastmaster Vinod, and well done. Keep taking more and more roles. Coming to the presiding officer, uh, uh, I really liked how he started his speech or his address to the club by congratulating all for having a great contest. Then how he remembered everyone who completed the levels, welcome new members. He also had guest introduction. So this goes on to say so that how much homework he does, and that's really a good example of a good leader, and that is what we look up to you, Toastmaster Parijat, as the president of this club. So keep scaling new heights and giving us learnings that we can follow. Now, the host of the day, Toastmaster Priyansha, I would say she was not the Toastmaster of the day. Rather, I would say that she was the Toastmaster of the week. How she ensured the group is lively by uh, bringing snippets of travels. She had already set up the context as soon as she took up this role, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, and she reached out to people for taking up roles, and she also gave and asked their background of travels to keep it as the background. So you have this guy here. So, and that's a preparation and homework she also did before the meeting. Now during the meeting, I saw the amount of work she had put in the presentation mode. She made the snippets of information she got for all role players and the speakers. That was very innovative. And after the speech also, she gave some snippets of the speaker's speech, which I find really good, that she was listening and improving her skills. So this, in summary, what I want to say, that this is the host of the meeting and you lead the meeting, and you need to do a lot of homework. And I'm sure with all these things, Priyansha would have improved a lot in her. And a few recommendations just to save on some time. As Toastmaster of the day, we can not repeat the timing sequence because timer has already done that, and we also have that on the agenda. uh, we can give the speakers like 5-10 seconds to check whether they are audible or visible. This could just be the improvements. And apart from that, role well done, and you have raised the bar quite high, Toastmaster Priyansha, for the next Toastmasters of the days or weeks. So well done, keep taking more and more roles. Now, evaluators, I had a tough time with 4 very good evaluators. I'm not sure what recommendation I'm going to give to them, but I'll just summarize. All the evaluators uh, took the CRC approach, which we see commendation, recommendation, and commendation, or the CRS, or the summary approach. I liked how all evaluators used the I approach. They were speaking for themselves and not for the entire audience, and which is very important in any evaluation. You speak for yourself, what you liked, disliked, or you felt about the speech, and do not speak on behalf of the audience. Uh, just for Subodh, maybe you would have liked to tell about what is virtual reality technology, because that becomes very highly technical. Maybe you can give it details to the speaker after this meeting. And Tushar, I think as summary, you might like to repeat what were the positive points and what were the improvement points, and then some put that in summary as well. Radha, I think what I would request or recommend is that you might like to reduce the you usages, because you talk only about you, and that brings a disconnect with the audience, because then there is a discussion between both of you and the speaker only. Toastmaster Renu, I liked how you use the he statements and not the you statements, so that ensured that you are talking to the audience and everyone is understanding or gaining from that evaluation. Just I think you missed the summary part, might be because you are coming after a long time or because of paucity of time. So that was for the evaluators. To the overall meeting, I think most of us reached before time, joined before time. Just one recommendation to all of us: we tend to use TMXYZ. when we call someone on stage or address, let us stick to calling being Toastmaster and not TM. Something we need to work upon is sticking to time. So maybe we need to work together to understand how we can stick to the time. Maybe Toastmaster of the day can reduce the content and ensure that he or she brings the bullet points only. So just summary is that let us work upon how to stick to the time. And that's all from my side. I will hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Priyansha, to conclude and hand it over and the voting. Toastmaster Priyansha, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Summit, for such wonderful evaluation and feedback. We'll now vote for the best role player for the day. So if we can have the polling launched as well.
Kanisha, you can proceed while voting.
Sure. Yes, Parijat. So I will just share. I have just shared the screen once again, and just 1 second. So what a great meeting it was. I hope all of you enjoyed. But like I promised, we'll come back to the same path again with few more facts just for the closure. If you note, Saudi Arabia is one of the 17 countries with no rivers at all. And till date, in Ethiopia, it is the year 2013 right now. In China, it is the same time zone at the both ends, and Alaska is both the westernmost and easternmost state in USA. So having said that, the world is round and the world is definitely not limited. With that, I just want to leave you all with one message, that what is your dream travel destination? If you just could go once anywhere in the world, where would it be? Think about it. You may have a lot of options, right from the street, the city, the country, the world, and world outside worlds. Great. And with that, I will stop sharing the screen and invite our presiding officer for the moments of glory and to give away the awards, make some announcements, if any, and to close the meeting. Please welcome presiding officer Toastmasters Parijat to this meeting. Toastmasters Parijat.
What an amazing virtual travelogue. I'm sure it triggered wanderlust in all of us. So let us again applaud for Toastmaster Priyansha, role players, speakers, and evaluators for making this meeting really wonderful. I would also like to thank all the guests for making time today. And though we are running short of time, let me still see if we have a few guests around and take quick feedback from them. So let me ask guest Shirish, if you can unmute and in 15 seconds share your feedback. How did you like the meeting? Any suggestions for us? Guest Shirish? Possibly guest Komal?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so the session was really great. I liked, I joined this session for the second time, and I got to know a lot of things, that there are different levels where people are, how they are evaluating, and how you can improve level wise. So this was the good takeaway from this meeting, and I would be happy to join this club and meet you all very soon.
Sure.
Yeah,
Look
thank
forward
you.
to having you with us soon. Guest Shweta?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Definitely, it is a great session, and I enjoyed whole session, and entire the session is good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So as I mentioned, if you have any further questions, you can contact Toastmaster Tushar. And we would love to have you join us as Toastmasters very soon. Now it's the time for Moments of Glory, a presentation of the awards based on your voting, the voting that you did. And let me just share my screen quickly. And the best prepared speech. The speaker was that's me. So, and the best table topic that goes to very bubbly Toastmaster Hina. Congratulations, Hina. Very well done. The best evaluator that goes to one of our podium finishers last week, and that's Toastmaster Radha. Congratulations, Radha. And best role player, I think she's done a fabulous job the entire week. As Toastmaster Amit said, it should not be Toastmaster of the week, but should be Toastmaster, not Toastmaster of the day, but Toastmaster of the week, and that's Toastmaster Priyansha. Congratulations, Priyansha. So with that, it's a wrap for 226th meeting. Do tune in next Saturday, same time, same link. Let us now switch on our videos with our wonderful backgrounds. And may I request Toastmaster Hina to click a picture.
Toastmaster Amit, you can.
Yes, Amit, if you can bring your snowman with you.
Show your buddy.
Mr. Parishad, so I'm having some internet issues, so I'm not seeing everyone on the screen. So can someone take the screenshot?
Okay, let me do that. Okay, so let's, are we ready? Shweta, do you want to kind of come in the frame? You're not visible. Okay, so we are all set. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. And people who want to stay around, you can stay around for the fun, informal session. Stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye, and we'll see you next Saturday at the same time. Thank you. Bye. Take care.